So Karmelo Anthony was just convicted of murder. And a lot of people are saying that race had nothing to do with his guilty verdict and his sentencing. But if we're being honest, this entire case has been racially charged since day one. Now, I don't want to believe that race was a factor in his sentencing or in his guilty verdict. But if you draw comparisons, it's kind of hard to say that it wasn't. A man named Daniel Penny was riding on the subway trying to get home when he heard a black man yelling and making threats. Now, this black man did not physically attack him. He didn't push him or shove him. He didn't even grab him. But Daniel perceived that black man as a threat. He then put that black man in a chokehold and killed him. He was charged with the crime, and he was later acquitted. Mind you, this is in a blue state, New York, where there's a duty to retreat. I don't agree with the duty to retreat, but basically what it is that you have a duty to run away from your attacker. If you see a perceived threat and you can get away, you have to get away. Texas, on the other hand, does not have that law. It's a stand your ground state. So if someone becomes a perceived threat, you have a legal right to now defend yourself. In the case of Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf did in fact physically touch him. He shoved him. This was after they had an argument. Then Karmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf. Now, I'm just going to be totally honest about the situation. I don't necessarily believe that Karmelo Anthony's response was justified. If we're talking purely from a moral and ethical standpoint, I don't think that someone shoving you is enough reason to kill them. But you cannot deny that in these two scenarios, discrimination does seem to be playing a part. If you're in a red state where you're allowed to stand your ground and you stab someone because they physically hit you, that's a lot different from being in a blue state where you're technically not allowed to stand your ground, at least not right away, and this person didn't even physically touch you. Those are two completely different scenarios. And yet, one guy is acquitted, and the other guy is about to spend 35 years of his life in jail. I'd also challenge you to visualize this scenario. Austin Metcalf walks into a tent. It's not necessarily his to sit in, but it's raining outside, and he wants to sit down. Karmelo Anthony walks in and says, "Get out of my tent." Then Karmelo Anthony physically shoves Austin Metcalf. Austin Metcalf stabs Karmelo Anthony. Does Austin Metcalf go to jail for 35 years? I highly doubt it. The same people that are saying that it was murder and that Karmelo Anthony was not justified in stabbing Austin Metcalf would be saying that Karmelo Anthony should have kept his hands to himself and didn't have any self-control and should not have shoved Austin Metcalf with two hands. So before you casually dismiss the racial aspect of this conversation, just try to see it if it was the other way around. I don't think Austin Metcalf would be spending the next 35 years of his life in jail if he had stabbed Karmelo Anthony for shoving him. A lot of people would be trying to push for self-defense, and a lot of people would be supporting him on that and saying that Karmelo Anthony should have had self-control and should not have shoved him. Again, I don't think that it's justified. I don't think that Karmelo Anthony should have stabbed him. But I also am fully aware of the fact that there's a racial aspect to this. And race definitely played a factor in whether or not Karmelo Anthony was found guilty and whether or not Karmelo Anthony was given a longer sentence. There is no question.